Okay, so before starting with the today topic, so yesterday we had the question, right? I think from Mahesh, to identify the right transaction, right? So yesterday we identified, we just noticed the uh, thread which is blocking, right? Which is blocking, and we killed it. The problem was solved, right? So I want to share more informations on that. Okay. So let's simulate the thing, then we will see that regarding that open transaction thing. So for example, mm, or be in no DB. I want to create few more sessions or be in ODB. Okay. And or be hyphen m in ODB. Just switching to sudo, just log in into MySQL 123. Okay, so I just logged in the MySQL and all the three sessions. Everything is in the same server only. Okay, same server. Now let me switch to this first session and use batch 5, show tables. Okay, select star from T1, right? Um, yeah, so here let me create um before that, one second. At that InnoDB log wait timeout. So we see about this parameter, right? This will define the how much time the transaction can wait, which is trying to access the row, which is waiting to access the row. Okay, so I by default the value is 50 seconds. I increased it more for our experiment. Okay, just starting the transaction begin. Okay, one second, let me accept. We already recording, right? Okay. Um, begin. And I'm just blocking one row by doing one update. Update T1 set name equal to some value. Okay. Where ID equal to 1. Right? What happened, man? It's weird. Okay, so we have the query, right? Let's see. So it should be due to the my testing before this session. There might be. Okay, so till 6. It's completed. Now let me do one thing. Let me reconnect everywhere to see show process list. Okay, there are two connections which are running very long time, right? So this is big. This is from my testing, so no worries. Just before our session, just half an hour before, I was testing few things. So it was from that. So I've just killed the sessions. Okay, so now it is fine. Cool. Now we are good to test our thing. By the way, I'm roll back the previous one and just starting the new transaction. Okay, you can count from here. Okay, so I am doing the same update now. So I just manually started the transaction. This is we see yesterday, right? Because MySQL by default it will do the auto commit. To overcome that, we did manually started the transaction and we did one update and we did log the role ID equal to 1. But we are not going to commit or roll back anything. Okay, so this transaction is open, which means this row is in lock. Okay. Now from the different session, if someone trying to access the same row, this is what exactly we see yesterday. Use batch 5, right? Let me copy the same update statement and I'm updating the different value in the another session. Okay. In the another session, I'm trying to update the different value. And you can see this update is now waiting. This is we already see, right? And for our thing, we already have this session is blocking and this query is executed. So it is blocking, right? If I am coming to the another session and checking root 1, 2, 3, I'm checking the process list, show process list. Process list will display all the running uh, connections, current connections which are connected, current query which is running. So here you can see this update is keep running. It is now running overall 32 seconds. And if you see one more time, it is now 48 seconds. It is keep running because it is trying to access the ID equal to 1 and this session is blocking it. Okay. But in the process list, we are not able to see this update statement, which is blocking, right? Because this query is already completed. So it will not available, it will not visible in the process list. Okay. So in this case, to release this update statement, there are few options. I need to commit this transaction or I need to roll back this transaction. Otherwise, I need to kill this transaction, right? So there are few options to release this update. So whenever I'm doing commit, rollback or kill, this transaction will come to end and this row will be released. Once this row is released, this transaction will, I mean, access it will able to access the row and it will able to complete the this update from the different session, right? Now the question here is why I am explaining this again is um, here we have the different uh, statements, different sequels to identify. Now executing this query, I can just identify which is the one blocking session. Then I can simply kill it if needed. Okay. For example, let me execute this. So here I can see this is the blocking ID. So I can kill this, kill 21. It will release it. Okay. But here you can see this is the waiting query update statement. But if you see the blocking query, which is null, right? Which is null. Because the query is already completed. So already completed here. So the blocking query is not visible. It is null. Now, in some case, for your debug purpose, you want to know which query was executed and which is blocking now, right? You know the thread ID which is blocking, but for some investigation or to understand you for the better understanding or some debugging, you want to know what was the query executed here in this blocking. Okay, that because that is the actually blocking this, right? Blocking this row, right? So if you want to check what is the query was executed before, That is possible. Okay, that is possible. 1 second, let me admit. That is possible. So you need to do something, okay, for that. By default, this statistics will not be captured by the MySQL. Okay. You need to enable the performance schema if it is not already enabled. And also you need to enable one of the consumer event statements history long. This is the consumer name you need to enable. Okay, you need to enable. Just you can execute this update statement on the against the performance schema setup underscore consumers table. You are just setting enabled equal to yes, where name equal to event statement history long. Okay, you should enable this. Then only performance schema will start capture the statistics. Okay, so you can get it. Okay, this is the first thing you need to do. Now the next thing is you already have this query and you already aware the blocking PID, right? Process list ID. You already aware of it. 1 second, there is one chat. What is the current isolation level of the database? It should be repeatable read. Um, we can check that. Transaction isolation. Yeah, it is repeatable read. Okay, fine. So we have this, and this is our blocking PID, which is 21. Okay, we need to use this block ID and we need to replace it here to find the process list. So sorry, to find the thread ID. So once we find the thread ID, then we can substitute here. Then we can see the stats. Okay, so let me show that. So here I am just replacing that 21 here, and now we are able to find the thread ID for the process list ID 21. Okay, and this is the 57. And finally, I am replacing the thread ID here 57, and now I am executing this. Let me admit, executing this. Here you can see the update statement executed here. I mean, on the thread ID, what are the queries were executed? Everything is, everything you can see from here. So the final event ID, the latest event ID is 27, and this is the update statement which was executed last on this thread ID. Okay, and you can see, compare this. This is the same one. Update T1 set name equal to A 7A, where ID equal to 1. So you are able to like find it, okay, which query is blocking. So this will be helpful on your debug purpose in case if you are investigating this kind of log weights, and you want to really understand which query was executed, the query flow, everything you can get it from the performance schema event statement history underscore long table. Okay, and also by default it will be empty. You will get the empty set result by default. It will not calculate anything. To get it enabled, you need to make sure you enable that consumer. Okay, on your environment you enable the performance schema, and also you enable
See,
this.
what is the 21? Is it the current waiting query process ID?
Correct, that is the connection ID. Yes,
Current, okay.
connection ID.
So by using this, actually the other session thread ID we can find out. Huh?
Yeah, thread ID is something, it is maintained by the performance schema. It will
Mhm.
have internally different threads to collect the
Okay.
statistics.
So this process ID, thread ID is different, right?
Yeah, it is different. That is correct.
It is okay. Oh, that's a good query.
This
Yeah,
thread
very
ID
good.
is something maintained by the performance schema to capture the stats.
Mhm.
So we need to find the right thread ID for this process list ID. Once we find
Mm,
that, then we can substitute that thread ID here and we
mm.
can query the performance schema database.
Okay.
Sectival.
Yeah, yeah. Hi.
In MySQL, uh, is like in PostgreSQL, for every query, there is a new process that is uh, initiated. Does this is it the same thing in MySQL as well? For
But
every
Hmm.
query, you spin up a new process or new thread,
You mean for every query, new thread will be initiated, right? On Postgres.
new process. Every connection is a new process in Postgres.
Every connection is new process, right? So
Yeah.
here, this is kind of for each connection. Yeah. See, when you connected, one second, let me show that.
That is what we discuss in today's class, right? Actually, just exactly what is here thread and what is process.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what even I'm also expecting this one today in today's class.
Uh, select current ID or what is that? Select. Okay. So you can see I'm just reconnecting. For every time, whenever I'm trying to connect, my connection ID is getting changed, right? So first I connected with 24. Now when I'm reconnect with slash or, it is creating the new connection ID for each of this. And whenever I'm connected to MySQL, currently my connection ID is 26, right? So this will call us a single session. This session have their own parameters. Okay. And using this connection, I can execute multiple transaction, not a single transaction. Using one connection, I can execute multiple transaction and each connection have its own session values. For example, I want to set session join buffer size equal to 1 MB. Okay, which means 1 MB means, yeah. This join buffer will be available 1 MB. For example, select at join buffer size 1024. This is 1 MB for this session. But if I'm executing the same here, this is 0.25, which is something like 256 KB something. Okay. So what I would say is, for whenever you are initiating the connection to the MySQL, it will create one connection ID, and that is called a session. Once you enter into the MySQL with one connection is something like a network site, right? It will from um, your application to MySQL. Otherwise, your MySQL client to MySQL, you are trying to reach the MySQL. That is something comes with the network and the authentication, all these things. Once you enter, you will get one connection ID from MySQL, and that is also called as a session. You created one session. Let's see. This is the one session. Here I can execute begin, commit, whatever. Multiple transaction I can execute. But when I am reconnect here, if you see my join buffer size, it is again rollback to 256 KB. Okay. So for one connection, you will get one session. Within one session, you can execute multiple transactions. And each session have their own values. I mean, for own parameters. And those parameters will get by default what you current in the global. That global parameters will be applied. But still, if you want to change some session related parameters, that is possible by using the set session command. That is something answers your question.
Yeah, here then what does it mean thread? Does it each transaction has separate thread?
No, no. This thread ID on this query, you don't need to confuse. This is something comes from the performance schema, internal thread value. Okay. that
Okay.
this will be used by the performance schema to
Hmm.
calculate the statistics. Okay,
No,
you don't need to
In MySQL, all processes come through. It is like a threads, right? There is no process here.
not process.
See, in one session,
Hmm.
whatever you are connecting,
Hmm.
in that session there are multiple threads, right? Am I correct?
No,
Okay.
not
Okay.
multiple threads.
Okay. No problem. If we go with this one architecture there, actually, we can have more discussion. Actually, how
Yeah,
the
yeah,
process
yeah.
is.
Yeah, correct.
So
You can,
that means within single thread we can have multiple events, right? Because event ID is changing over here. Like event ID is 27, 25 in
yeah,
this
Yeah.
big string.
that is correct. That is different. And also we don't like my this event ID and thread ID are different from the internal process. We don't need to get confused because you can see here one more thing. You can just get it verified from the process list. Right. In the process list, you can see currently I have initiated three sessions. One is the current terminal, this is the second terminal, this is the third one. Three connections
Correct.
I initiated. And you can see there are three connections in your process list. And overall, currently in my MySQL, overall four connections. This is one
Yeah,
about
correct.
the event scheduler. Okay, we can when it is enabled, it will have one session, one thread. Okay, so this is
No.
just
Yeah.
What is this ID? Like, is it a thread ID or event ID?
this
22,
is
23, 27
I would
in
say
the show process list.
this is the connection ID or process
Connection
list
ID.
ID.
This session ID. Actually, that is the session ID.
Yeah,
So that is
connection ID or session
our
ID
session
or
ID.
process list ID. We can
So
call.
so so
Process.
that means if we need to kill this query
Yeah,
like 23, then we need to kill this session only. How we
correct.
can kill the single query?
That is correct. If you have two option, one is kill and kill query. You have two option.
Kill session or kill you can kill session or you can kill that query. See,
Queries.
if you kill
So
the
like
session, you need to rebounce the again reconnect the session. If you kill the query, the existed session will be
no,
available.
I can kill the session with this idea, but how I can kill the query, single query? Like
Yeah,
how I can get
That
that
let's
that
process
is
try
what
ID?
that.
he killed it, right? He
L-
killed earlier, right? By using that query, he got that.
See, let's try that. So here I have initiated this session again, right? So now if you see in the process list, this is running, right? So if I kill query 22, you can see this query execution was interrupted. Here, right? Show,
It means that there the session has this one unexpectedly closed,
yeah, yeah.
accidentally closed, killed.
So when I'm doing the kill query 22, only this query got interrupted. Query execution was interrupted. Now, instead of, but this session is again there, 22 is again there, right? Previously
Mhm.
also 22. And now, if I am killing this session, I am not using the query, just kill 22 now. Okay. When I am doing this, see if I am executing show schemas command again, last connection to the MySQL server during the query, it is again trying to reconnect, and now the new connection ID is
Oh,
28
very good.
Okay, got
Okay,
it, got it.
got it. Yeah, there are two then. Okay, kill query and kill
and kill
this one.
command. Yeah. So kill query
So
means it will,
in the previous example, what you find by using okay, that is just only okay, got it. Yeah, there the query you found that.
yeah,
Mm,
the query which was blocked.
mm, yeah, got
Okay.
it.
Now it is
Okay,
make
this is
sense.
completely different from other technology. Kill query with session ID, kill
Yeah.
second.
Siri, I have one doubt. Like in last demo,
Yeah.
my second session was blocking and first was blocker, right?
Second
Because
session.
update statement you first you executed in that first session, right?
Yeah, this is the blocking session.
Blocking
This
or blocker?
this is blocking, this is waiting.
Waiting means blocked by first session, right? From
Yeah,
first.
the blocking or blocker, correct. This is the blocker. And this
So
is
in
mm,
such a case, let's say now everything is there in our terminal only, so we can exactly demonstrate, right?
mm,
But in real time, if like a multiple developer are executing the, I means their query, and
mm.
some other DB came and can you please check blocking or any lockings are there? That time, like
Yeah,
you shoot us, right? Which session we have to kill. So
yeah.
that we have to kill based on the like event ID something was you showed
No, no,
now
no.
third
That's what
terminal.
we see that, right? You have three statements. So this query itself, you will find the blocking PID. Okay. So you can just kill it. It will release the query.
Okay,
And
that okay.
Mhm.
Blocking PID we have to kill, right?
Yeah, yeah, correct. Yeah, which one is blocking? You need to kill that, right? So that the other thing will be released. You got this,
Right,
right? So
means other two queries are just to find find the
fine.
evidence, right?
Yeah, find the query which was executed on the thread with on the blocking thread. So that will give some more insights to you, right? So you can take your investigation further with those
So this
queries.
query make like this
Mm.
for the blocking PID you can put what is called that name as putting blocking PID as blocker, like that. That will be good, right? Then it will be easy to
Yeah, that
kill.
is based on our modification, right? You can just
Hmm.
do like
As
this.
blocker PID or something.
Yeah, whatever you want, you can.
No, actually, that column name they mentioned as a blocking PID. Actually, if
Yeah,
you put
actually,
blocker PID, it will not result it. Just if you want
this is
alias name, you can make it like this. You
yeah,
should
yeah.
put
You
always
can.
blocking PID, blocking underscore PID.
That is our customization. Whatever you want, you can do. But this
No,
column
this is
itself, we cannot
the
change because
table. Yeah, the table which is there inside that
I
one.
have one doubt.
InnoDB underscore lock underscore widths. In that column name is blocking PID.
blocking underscore PID. That is correct. Yeah.
In the notepad, if you see in the last query, okay, thread ID 57, if you run that query, it will show other process ID also, right? You
Not
mentioned only thread ID 57, but it's showing other queries also, right?
so whatever queries which were running in that thread, it will be showing.
But we given mention only 57, but why it's showing other?
No, but inside single thread we can have multiple IDs, event IDs, right? So each query is assigned as a single ID.
Actually,
Event
yeah. Actually, in this session, we were executing multiple queries. I was killing something before. I was doing some update, rollback.
But we are mentioning thread ID only 57, right?
Yes, 57. Correct.
But if 57, if you run 57, it should show only that.
Siri, better can you run once again? This will more clarify. Like it will complete in 2 3 minutes, right?
No
Rather than
worries. We
discuss.
can do. No, we can do. We can do. So
Rather
I
than
just
discussing.
reconnected. Okay, it's reconnected. Uh, so let me make sure there is nothing. What is this? 300. Okay, fine. So I just reconnected here, and here you can see this connection ID is 29. Begin. Okay, begin running that update. Okay, so we just run this in the 29. We run these two commands only. Okay, update, and in the another session, I will reconnect here as well. And doing this update for them A. Okay, now it is waiting, right? Now it is waiting, and you can check the process list. Your update is currently waiting, which is from the 30, and you can see this connection ID is 30, and this is also 30, and this is 29, which is the open transaction. Here it is. Okay, now let's see how we can get it in your production environment or when you come in this situation. you need to first execute this query, the first query, to see which is the blocking ID. Okay.
Okay.
So now I just executing this query. Now I got it. Blocker is 29, right? This is the 29. This is the blocking one. So you can directly kill this thing. You can directly kill this 29 ID. So this session will be terminated and your update will be completed. That is one of the easy way to fix it. Okay, you can just fix it. But in some case, for the further investigation, you want to understand what are the queries were executed and which query is blocking. Okay, that is the next thing you need to find it. Okay, so here we already know about this ID, process list ID, which is 29. I am just in the second query, I am just replacing it to 29. Here itself it is clear, right? Process list ID, which is 29. Okay, to find the thread ID, I am doing this because I can use only the thread ID in the performance schema, event statement, history long table. Okay, so that I am finding the equivalent thread ID for this process list ID 29. I am just copying this and I am executing this in the server and I found it. 66 is the thread ID, equivalent thread ID for my process list ID 29. Okay, so I got the thread ID now. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to replace the thread ID in this statement and I'm going to execute this query here. Okay, now yeah, control L, and now I am going to execute this. You can see only even I given limit 5, only two statements are there because after initiated this connection 29, I executed only two statements, right? So the two statements only available here. One is the begin and the next one is the update statement. This is the
Okay.
update
Okay.
statement. Now this is make sense?
Yeah, now all
Yes, sir.
clear. Yeah. Thank you,
Mm.
sir.
All clear. Yeah.
Perfect.
And
So here to understand more, what is thread in the first session, thread ID? That you are no problem. Just we can please start architecture this one. There actually in further we can understand that one.
Cool, cool. So
okay, the
yeah, hi.
so basically, when we say process list ID here, it doesn't mean PID there. It's
Process
just
is
process list ID is not PID, right?
No,
process
that's good.
list ID is
PID
not
both are same.
PID.
No, they are not. They're different actually.
It's a connection ID, processless ID means.
Process list ID means connection ID.
Connection ID, but connections in MySQL are only threads. It's not process model like my in PostgreSQL. For every connection, for every session, there will be new process created. But in MySQL, for every connection, only there is a new thread that is spun. And
Correct,
these
correct.
yeah, these threads will have the thread IDs, but internally MySQL calls them process list ID. Like let's say there is a first connection that comes in, let's say thread 100 handles it, but the process list uh, ID will be 1. It doesn't mean it's PID. So there will be
So
only one process that is running. That is a MySQL process that actually where MySQL is running on a given port.
yeah, that is
Exactly, that's correct.
something what I'm telling is in the Linux level, we have only one process.
Correct.
That is the daemon, MySQL D. Okay, so if you see
Correct.
here, one second, let me show that.
Yeah,
Yes,
this will we will get clarity this one by this one starting explanation about this architecture.
yeah,
Similar way even in Oracle also.
cool, cool. But yeah, I think as Charan mentioned, process Postgres, we have different processes, right? I think there are
Yeah,
five
that's
to
true.
six process. Cool.
Correct. Here
Yeah,
only one process at OS level, only one process
cool. Yeah.
in my correct.
And this all you can call it as a connection ID or even
Yeah.
because we are going to substitute this 29 in the process list ID as per MySQL here. Okay. So
Mm,
some people they call thread ID kill that thread.
correct.
Yeah, so that is kind of naming we
This is
do.
where actually just other technology people where we got confusion. Whenever you give show process list,
Mm,
we thought that these all are processes, but actual process is only one, that is MySQL daemon. Remaining all called as a connection ID or process, this one thread ID or process list ID. These
yeah.
all are synonyms.
OS level, we have one process, but
Only one process, but in MySQL that is different.
yeah, yeah, correct.
For
Based on
each
the session,
connection, there is a
session.
process
cycle,
in
we have
sorry
one
in
single
Oracle.
process,
In
OS level.
We
each connection, there will be a one process.
Push
we
case
can
Okay.
say also there is a one query, one thread ID.
No,
You
in
can
that is
execute
event
PostgreSQL,
multiple
ID.
every
queries,
process should
right?
have a single process, separate
In
process.
one session, we have one thread because in a given session,
Each
you
and
can have
every connection should have a separate process in Postgres.
No, we can summarize. Just I'll take some time. Okay, sorry. Like in Postgres and Oracle, there will be a different background process. Background process will take one OS means PID. But here, all the means background process is MySQL D only. It will take single OS ID. Then inside DB, there will generate multiple ID. Am I right, Sri?
Yeah, that is something that is relatable, right? It will create its own event ID. But this all comes when you are enabling the performance schema. Okay. So performance schema by default, it have different threads and they will mark it as a different events. Okay. So this event ID and this thread ID columns you are getting, where is that, Corey? Yeah. So this event ID, thread ID, this all will be available from this table only. But if you did not enable this consumer, this event ID, thread ID columns are empty. Actually, it will not collect any statistics. So what I would say is just forget about it. So this is something maintained by the performance schema. So here the thing is we have the daemon that is running in the OS. So whenever someone trying to connect from the different places, they are initiating one connection to the MySQL. That that is called as connection ID or process list ID, and also you can call it as a session. That is one session, and within that session you can execute multiple queries and transactions. Each session have their own values. By default it will get it from the global value what we have, but you can make the changes in the session related variables. You can change your values in the session. So maybe, yeah, let's see about this architecture, you may get some more. But what I would say is if you get this confused with this one, it will be a little bit tricky. What I would say, if I disable this counter, if I am disabling this counter, it will never get populated. This performance schema, um, this table will never get populated. So this is something, this event ID and thread ID, this is something maintained by the this guy, this performance schema tables. So you don't need to, if you are really trying to understand from the connections between your client and database, then you don't need to consider this thing. This is this.
Siri, by enabling this, how like what kind of means kind of data is there? Like it will be more size taking data, or means it will be like a
No,
less
no.
open data.
Yeah, so enabling performance schema, initially people will disable because it will consume some memory, all this thing, resource. But this table will not grow much. You have the settings to tell how much you need to keep it, all these things you can control.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, everything.
So no extra load to DB, right? Not taking much resources by this.
But yeah, if you have the enough a good amount of resources, then I would recommend doing these things. But yeah, still it is not going to consume more. But that is also depends on your load and concurrency. Everything is there, right? So that all depends on that.
Okay.
Got my point, right? Yeah, and this history length size is maximum long size. This is the one. What is that? 10,000 rows. It will keep it maximum. So these all things you can control.
That is not number of rows, right? That value means.
Yeah, yeah, correct. Number of rows.
Okay.
I will confirm that. But yeah, it should be the number of rows. Okay.
So what is the
Yeah,
default
please start
isolation
it.
level in the
Today's
production?
agenda, already 45 minutes. So,
Yeah, this discussion, this is what I will.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
better
but I
to
think this is
start.
good. So we are trying to understand
yeah, good.
something together, right? So I'm
Yeah,
okay.
correct, correct.
What is
Yeah,
the default
no, actually,
isolation level? I think we are using production.
Cool. So what I would say is, I'll share this queries in the like let me send it on chat so that it will be available in the chat.txt file, so I can just upload it. You can also copy it, but yeah, anyhow, you will get it from your recording folder that you can just copy it. Okay, fine, cool. I think let's move on. So as we discussed yesterday, let's continue with this logical architecture thing. Okay. Uh, so before that, let me clean up these things. Let me keep only one terminal. Uh, um, l- so let me add one local config so that I don't want to put the password always. Client password equal to root 123. So using that, you don't need to put the password all the time. So it will read the password from your local config file. Okay, fine. Clear MySQL. So now, so this is actually the logical architecture diagram from the MySQL documentation. Okay, so let's go through this only. Okay. And also that engine architecture is different that we will cover when we come. That also we have the diagram from the MySQL documentation page. We will use that to see the InnoDB architecture. So this is something like a logical thing how this MySQL works actually. Okay, so on the top you have the clients, which means that can be the connectors, application connectors, whatever from different languages. And also you have the MySQL shell for scripting. So MySQL shell means that is the advanced client, right? Advanced MySQL client. So for example, currently we are connecting the MySQL with the MySQL. Just running the MySQL thing, it is able to connect. And this MySQL command will come from the MySQL client package. So here you can see the client plugin packages are right? So it will come from here. And we have one more latest MySQL client, which is called as a MySQL shell. Okay, apt search MySQL shell. So when you have the repo, you will have that package. So let me install this quickly. Apt install. Yeah, similarly, you can install it from like DNF install or yum install, whatever. You can install it. I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir. You are
Okay,
audible.
I lost the power, so just checking the connection is there or not. Okay, fine. So yeah, let it install. So let me come to here. So on the top of it, we have the clients. So clients will initially make the connection locally through the socket. Otherwise, they can initiate the connection through the port. The default port is 3306. Remotely, if they are trying to connect the MySQL database remotely, then they will establish the connection through the port. Okay. Then this all will comes to the MySQL daemon. Okay, MySQL D. That is the complete entire MySQL D is for the everything the Linux process. When you run the MySQL D script, then only it will validate your config. I mean, my.cnf everything. It will validate your config. It will check your permission, ownership of your files. Everything will be validated when you are starting the MySQL. It will validate your data directory. Every files are there or not to run the MySQL database. Everything will be validated when you are when you are start the MySQL D process. That is the daemon. Everything will be validated. Once everything is fine, then finally it will start the MySQL service and it will be ready. Your MySQL server MySQL database will be ready to accept the connections. Okay, so this is about the MySQL D. Within the MySQL D, you can see there are different thing NoSQL interface, SQL interface. Let's see these two things first. Okay, so we have two interfaces. One is the NoSQL interface and the SQL interface. So NoSQL interface means that is the MySQL X protocol, which is like a document DB. MySQL can act as a document DB as well. From MySQL 5.7, it is introduced, and that is much improved on the MySQL 8. Okay, and this is mostly with the JSON thing. You can do that. Okay, to connect the MySQL document DB, you cannot connect with the MySQL client, which means the normal MySQL client which we are using. This MySQL client. Okay, to connect the document DB, you need to do connect through the MySQL shell. Okay, so you can see the MySQL shell is installed now, right? Let me show something with this MySQL shell. May already have it, but yeah, a quick intro about it. So this MySQL shell will be really helpful when we are doing upgrade. There are a lot of utilities, lot of scripts. There are a lot of things. Okay, you can explore it. So when I'm doing the MySQL SH, so here you need to connect using the MySQL SH. Okay, not the normal classic client. We will connect with the MySQL shell. You need to connect with the MySQL SH. It is not connected. What it is telling? Cannot connect to the local MySQL server. Okay, 1 second. Let me get the socket. Okay, so this is the actual socket file. Now running this, it is trying to connect with different socket. Let me put SOCKET socket, this one. Okay, so now you can see this is connected, and show schemas. You can see the available data. You can execute any SQL command on the SQL interface. Overall, it has three interfaces. One is SQL. There you can execute all your SQL commands, and it also have the JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript interface. So here lot of utilities are available. That upgrade checker utility and binlog decode utility. There is lot of things you can do with the JavaScript, and also it has one more interface which is the Python. Here you can execute the Python codes and you can uh, interact with the MySQL through the using the Python code. Okay, fine. Now I'm switching back to the JS mode, JavaScript. I am currently into the MySQL shell. Okay, and here you may see this. Uh, okay, apt install net tools. Okay, 1 second. Let it install. Okay, now netstat -tulnp. So when you see this, MySQL D listening two ports, right? Did you ever noticed? One is 3306 and the another one port is 33060. Okay, so if you want to establish the connection to the X protocol, I mean that MySQL document DB, you need to use this port. And also, if you are establishing the connection to MySQL using this port with the classic MySQL client, which means this one, then it will not able to connect the document. You cannot execute the queries. Queries means the document DB related queries, the JSON functions you cannot execute because the classic MySQL client is not supported. So you can do this, you can establish with this 33060 connection only based on the X protocol. Okay, so this is the command line. So I'm just executing this. This is like just MySQL SH. I am connecting through the root, and this is for password, and this is the MySQL X protocol, and I'm trying to connect the port 33060. Let me run enter root 123, and yes, it is asking to save the password for the future login. I'm just giving yes. Now you can see creating a X protocol session to root at the rate localhost 33060. Okay, and also your MySQL connection ID is 36 X protocol. So now we are connected through the X protocol, right? Now let me switch to JS. I am I have the commands already, so I'm just going to show just for the example. Okay, so this is something. The first one is you can create the schema using this function, and if you have the schema already, then you can get the schema using this function. Okay, so now let me do something. What to do is it underscore protocol. You can have any database name. Executing this on the JavaScript. Okay, so this is done. So I am just created, so I am ignoring this, and I am going to create one collection that is kind of table. Okay, the mystery is this all will come under the InnoDB. Okay, I will show that. So I am creating the collection. This is done. Now I am just going to insert. This is if the collection is already created, then you need to use get collection. Okay, and same thing, if the database is already created, you need to use get schema. Okay, if you are going to create something new, you need to use create, and this is something on the schema which we did. You can just make the I'm just making one entry over there. That's it. Now you can visible this using the function. Okay, there is lot of things you can do. The filter based on the where class, you can I mean you can grab the specific columns that you need to land these functions from the document DB, MySQL document DB. Okay, now I am just switching to SQL interface, and I am showing these things. You can see this is a protocol that is just now we created, right? Create schema is a protocol. So I'm just using that, and so now you are see you are in the is it underscore protocol database show tables. You can see this implies this is the collection we created, right? This is the collection we created, and if you see the structure of this employees, show create table implies. Here you can see these all are the JSON, and the thing is you can see the engine is InnoDB. Okay, so this everything it is even in the document DB. This all comes under the InnoDB engine. It will be created, maintained, and created in the inside the InnoDB engine. Okay, and when this document DB is recommended is if you are maintaining lot of JSON data dedicatedly, and you want to keep your columns unstructured data, right? Kind of. You have sometimes see if you are storing that in the table, then what you need to do, let's say if a table have some 5 columns or 10 columns, you should do insert all the 5 or 10 columns, right? Let's say if you want to do one more, you have one more column data, then you need to add the column and then only you can do install, but you do insert. But here, when it comes to the document DB, you don't need to mind about that. This adding the columns, all these things, don't need to mind about it, because this is kind of not structured. Okay, but you can like you can query better using the JSON functions that you need to understand. So this is something when you have multiple heavy kind of unstructured documents, JSON, particularly this, if you have the JSON documents, then it would be really helpful to manage them in the MySQL. Okay, so this
So
is
can we access our MySQL the databases which we are created into the MySQL? Can we access that database into the JavaScript mode? Like
uh,
we can access the database created in the JavaScript mode in the MySQL command, like
so you mean, okay, so similarly how we did here.
yeah.
Okay, let's try it out. This is quite new for me. Use what is that? Use what database I have here? Show tables. Okay, so let's start from 3. 3. Okay, so we have some value. Let's try to access this using the JavaScript. Okay, so here I need to use the get schema because the schema is already created, right? So I need to replace herc. Okay, so this is done. And get collection Sri, right? S or I is my table name. Okay. What it is telling, session get schema unknown database. Oh, sorry. Get schema should be here. Get collection. This is S or I. Get collection. Okay. Does not exist. The collection here.sri does not exist. It is telling. Select star from F.Sri. It is there, right? But yeah, it is not identifying it as a collection. This is due to
I think
that.
it is because of the structure, it
Yeah,
will
yeah.
not like accept the structure environment.
Correct, correct. So that is something not possible, it looks like. But yeah, I will check and get back tomorrow. Is there any other way to get this done?
Using MySQL shell command, can we do DB commands like process list?
Yeah, yeah. Everything in the SQL interface, you can execute everything what you are doing in the classic protocol. You can execute everything here as well.
We can kill the command queries, everything,
Anything,
right?
whatever. Yeah, you can do.
Oh,
Okay, cool. So this is what here in the diagram it is mentioned the yeah, CRUD means you know, right, create, read, update, delete, right? All the operations can be performed for the non-SQL, no, sorry, no SQL interface as well. And of course, the SQL interface you already aware, that DDL, DML, everything, that delete, update, insert, SQL statement, right? Everything can be executed.
Uh,
So once it,
See,
yeah,
I think just you one step ahead you went there. So actually, I would like to know here, actually, the MySQL connectors, the application team, when they connect that MySQL database, okay,
yeah.
the process, how it will be established, can you show that one? Actually, the application team, what they will, can you take a two screens, and then this one, can you show me that one? If application team connect to the database, what exactly at the database level it will capture, like a thread ID or process list ID, or how it will be?
So that is the same thing, right? What we see now.
Same, same connect
Yeah, yeah. I don't see any kind of difference.
difference, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So what we did now, the same thing will happen there as well.
Even
So
from
what I
the
can do is I will bring one sysbench setup
see
tomorrow.
not from
Yeah.
sorry. See
Yeah.
if you take two sessions,
Hmm.
so instead of connecting, just can you open that one? This one MySQL sessions,
Okay.
two screens, two screens. Can you open two screens? Okay, so here don't connect to one. You just open one in one session. You connect as a database. Log into the database. Okay, show process list.
Yeah.
Okay, so here if you connect from the user application user,
Hmm.
so here it will show as an application user, and this one uh,
Of course. Yeah.
connect same way, right? Instead
Yeah.
of root,
So
actually the different their username you can see there.
for example, if you see, let me show something here. 1 second. Before that, let me kill 30 the previous connection. So to avoid any confusion. So here this is the connection now. I'm going to create one user, create user app at localhost identified by some password app 321. What happened? Typo.
Okay, there won't be any difference like root and this one application user.
Nothing.
Only except this one,
Um,
except privileges. Other than that, everything is same like as root, right?
yes, correct. To app at local host. Okay, so I just created one user. Now you can see the monitor the process list. There is currently two connections. This you can ignore this event scheduler. Okay,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
will be initiated by time when the MySQL start. So currently you can see only the current connection, which is 37. That is on the current shell.
Mm,
Now in the
mm.
second shell, I'm going to make one connection. MySQL -u app -p app 321. Okay, so this is something your application is now connected to the MySQL. So once it is connected, you will see the
Yeah,
connection is established here with the app username.
yeah. So
And
now I have a query. Here, if once application team connected,
hmm,
then they execute some query, okay, with this one like parallel is some they used some parallel options,
okay.
okay, like a 10 parallel options.
Hmm.
So during that time, here we can see at the database level only this app user or the 10
Multiple
processes.
connection. Let me clear your doubt, man. 1 second. So let's finish
Okay,
this.
okay, it will come as a multiple apps with
Yeah.
the connection ID same.
So I'm just installing Sysbench here. So Sysbench will act as the application. Okay. So I need to know the command. 1 second. Let me get it from Google. Sysbench server mains. There is one good blog. Benchmark performance in MariaDB. Command F read write lava. Yeah, lava Sysbench password tables prepare. Okay. Now let me get this command. Okay, so let me put it here. And I need to find this location. So at the end, you will be like, let me modify this command meanwhile. Let's see. This is your application. Here I'm going to make 10 connection. Okay. 10 connection to my MySQL. and local host. MySQL user is app. MySQL user is app, and the password is app321. MySQL port is by default 3306. And now this much huge table, just 1,000 rows. This is actually the 1,000 rows, and this is 20 table. It will be created. Then we will run the benchmark. Okay, this is still searching. Okay, let me try to make this without this. Okay. So this first prepare command will just prepare your environment. That's it. Test this telling using system now.
Maybe you don't have memory. Maybe reduce tables and table size.
I am not sure. I think I did face this problem before reducing the table size, right? Okay, 1 second. I'm just making it to still this segment fault is there. So what to do now? Can I stop the screen once? I have the comments. Let me get it from my email. 1 second. Let me log in my email. Drive sys bench. Okay. On Jamie. Okay, fine. I'm sharing my screen back. Okay, so my screen is visible, right? So this is actually the command. So this is like I'm creating the different architecture, right? In the ARM, my Mac have ARM, but I am creating the different architecture, right? So it will not actually work. So I was working on this before, and I figure it out this steps. Let me see how whether it is working here or not. So I'm just removing the suspense, and I'm just following the steps which I have. Installing everything. So once this apt get is done, I need to clone the suspense repository. Yeah, so this is done. Cloning the Git repository for the suspense. Okay. So suspense is now there. Okay. So now I need to install it. Autogen. Okay. So it is just compiling from the source code. Yeah, let it run. So finally, I need to configure it and make it for the C programming. Yeah, this is done. And I'm just configure it now through the GCC. But yeah, no need to worry about this much of steps. Just run exit installing the search bench is fine. But yeah, when you have this cross architecture, similarly like me, then maybe you need to follow these steps. That's it. I can share these steps as well. I'm not sure about how it will be on the other environment, but
This
anyhow,
benchmark testing, like
yeah,
told.
this suspense tool is very useful, man, and we will use this tool in coming days very much to create server load to create the load on the server For when we come to this performance tuning session, mostly we will use this, and also to simulate the replication lag. All these things we will rely on the suspense tool only. So, and this is very, very helpful tool to create the load on your database, to do the benchmarking on your database. This tool is very, very helpful. Suspense. You can try it out. Okay, you can run how many threads. You can create the data. Like let's say if you want to create some sample data to do some benchmark on your database environment, that is possible. Not only the small table, the bigger table. You can just tell the rows how much rows you want to create. Even 1 crore, that is possible. 1 crore. How many rows you want to create? That you can create the bigger tables just for doing the benchmark, whatever. You can use this tool, suspense tool. And this blog I was
I
sorry.
lost my connection,
It will not come up by default
unfortunately.
in the bin location.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, so this is we are speaking about suspense, Magesh.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I will share this blog. Maybe this blog is really helpful.
Sir, it will not come by default MySQL dump in that location.
MySQL dump, you mean?
Bin location, it will not come up.
You are asking the suspense, right?
Yes, yes.
No, no, no. That you need to install separately. That is not the MySQL package. That is the another open source tool that can be used to do benchmark. Not only MySQL, even Postgres, you can do benchmark using the suspense.
It will Postgres, it will come in that bin location by default. PG underscore bench.
Oh, that is different, I think. Maybe is that the fork of suspense?
Yes, yes. PG bench tool will come in the location, bin
Yeah,
location. The
I
post.
think that is the tool from the Postgres, right?
Right, right. Uh,
Okay, yeah, but I am not
Postgres.
aware of the tool that Postgres, which what is just telling. Okay, so now we have installed suspense hyphen version. Let me do is that suspense. Yeah, so suspense hyphen version. Yeah, now this suspense is working. Now let's try to run this command. Suspense OLTP workload and repair. What is that error? Cannot find benchmark OLTP. Where is this next? CD suspense ls find name. Okay, got it. So it is in the here. This file. Cool. I think now we are good. CLEAR. Okay. I'm just giving the, but when you install through the binaries, you don't need to find this location, all these things. You can just run this command, is fine. So I'm just giving the full location of this file now. Now I am running the prepare model OLTP command. I'm getting different errors. Not sure. We have this Lava file, right? OLTP command not found. Better. Let me do one thing. I am just going to Yeah, instead of debugging this thing here, I'm going to create one machine on my AWS environment and it will be quick. Okay. What is the time? Okay,
That's
that is fine. That is fine. That is fine. Management console. Into console. Okay. Sign in with my root user. Password. Code. 1 second. Let me take my authenticator. AWS 888 724 620. Okay. So now I am into my console. Let me quickly create one machine. Launch instance. Like any name would do. Key. Create new keeper. Suspense. Yeah, so you were aware of it, right? We see in the first session. To first login, need to create through login through the key. And the default thing, everything is fine. Launch instance. Let it launch. Yeah, so once this is launched, then it is very quick, man. At least it's understand our urge. So I'm just coming out from my session here and cd downloads ls-lrth grep sysbench. Okay, so we have this pump file ssh hyphen I sysbench ubuntu ip. I'm just logging the machine. Okay. Chmod 400 sysbench. Yeah, it is logged in. Sudo su clear. Now I'm going to install apt get install MySQL server and sysbench. Okay. Unable to. Okay, let the install MySQL server first. apt get update. Trying to install the MySQL server now. Yeah, so it should be quick. Now, meanwhile, let me open one more terminal here. Downloads. No, okay, so this is done. And I think Sysbench will also get installed. Yeah, Sysbench is also getting installed now. So we installed the MySQL as well as Sysbench both now here. Okay. Now let me quickly clear MySQL. It is able to log in, and Sysbench. Cool. It is able to execute. Now we are ready to do this. And let me log in one more session here. Copying. Okay. Command of I sudo su clear MySQL. Okay, fine. Here I am just disconnecting, and here we can monitor the MySQL shell. Show process list. Currently, only the root connection, the same connection is exist here. And let me make this terminal a little bit uh, for our. Okay, fine. Now I am going to create one database. Create database batch 5. Okay, and now coming to the suspense command we prepare, and here I am going to just add MySQL -db equal to batch 5. Okay, let me validate this command. I am going to run suspense or read write load oltp read write thread is 10 MySQL localhost. Okay, this has app user is not there, right? This is I'm just connecting. Better let me create one app user so that we can see that purpose why, like, it will be like connecting through the app user. Create user app at local host identified by app 321. Grant all on to app at local host. Okay, fine. Created the app user as well. This is our current process list. We can monitor. Fine. So now the app user is exist. So MySQL user is app and the password is app321. I'm just putting it in the single quotes. And MySQL port is 3306. DB is batch 5. I'm going to create 20 tables. Size for each table is 1000 rows. Fine. Now I'm just copying this command and running it from the first terminal. OLTP, no such. I think built-in file model. We can fix this. Yeah. So that we can just run it without .lava. Okay, this is as a binary. So we don't need to provide the complete file name. So I just initialized it. You can see creating table 9 to 7. It will create the we asked them to create 20 table. So it will create all the 20 table. And if you see this why there are only 10 tables, it will run based on the batch because we provided 10 threads, right? So the first 10 threads will create the first 10 tables, then it will inserting the record. We ask them to record 1000 records, right? It will be inserted, then the next set of 10 tables will be created and the record will be inserted. Everything is done now. So now if you see in the process list, we have nothing from the app user because this is already disconnected, right? We will run this again with the load. I will show that batch 5. Once this is done, you will see the 20 tables here. Okay, and each table will have count of star from SB test 1. Each table will have the 1000 data. Okay, and since still the show process list, we have nothing. There is no app user connection because all the connections are terminated. They already did the job and they come out. Okay, now here on the same command, we use the prepare before. So prepare means it will prepare the environment. It will create all the tables and it will insert everything. Now I am going to run. Before that, I am going to do some, I think, time, correct value is time, making it to some thousand seconds. Okay. And instead of preparing, I'm just replacing the prepare with run now. Okay. So it will start run. You can see initializing the worker threads. Threads started, right? Thread started. Now if you see the process list here, you will see 10 connection from the app user, app, right? Because we asked the systems to initialize 10 threads. Where is that? Yeah, threads value is 10. So the similar way, so let's consider the system just the application. Okay, suspend just the application, and how much threads, how much connections you are asking your application to make it to the DB. It will create all the connections in the DB and it will do the job there. Okay, now let me know what is the I mean, like, maybe if you have any questions here.
No, yeah, I have a question here. See, here you make the logic like go to the 10 threads. It means you connected to the database by using 10 threads. So if you connect the database by using one thread and 10 process, there is no such logic here. Is there anything like that?
No, when you connect with one thread, then inside the MySQL, it should create only one connection only.
Okay, only
Within
one
that
connection.
connection, using that
Hmm.
connection, you can execute multiple queries and transaction.
See, okay. So, but those all are in serialized, one after other, not parallel.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Oh.
So each
So for
connection should
one
have
thread
the separate
only,
PID.
just sorry.
Each connection will have a separate process ID or PID.
Yeah, this is if you here the logic is 10 connections, establish 10 connections by using this user, and then 10 connections are 10 threads. So I understood this logic. So if see, for example, I connected to one app user and established one thread, and I want to execute parallelly 10 queries at a time.
Maybe I think you
So
are
the
asking about this connection pooling kind of thing.
yeah, connection pool. Yeah, connection pooling like.
Yeah, that is
See,
something we can configure. By default,
we have to
that is
configure at application side and then parallel. So this is see indirectly what you are saying here. 10 sessions you are by using your logic system this one app. But you establish 10
threads to MySQL. Yes.
10 threads to MySQL. For
Yes.
example, see here it is 10 different connection IDs. It connected to the database and then uh,
Yeah.
it
So,
executed.
yeah, you
So
can see
from
this, right? Let's see this
mm,
23. You can see this is currently running on update statement, right?
yeah, correct.
And if you see again, there is lot of SQLs are keep coming. They are
Mm-mm.
transactions. They will be ideal for some time in the sleep.
Okay.
Then again, it is getting the executing the queries, right?
Okay. So in Oracle, what one process, one session can execute multiple. One process means one physical process at the OS level. It will come and hit the database as a one process,
Hmm.
and it this one check the status. This one credentials,
Hmm.
and then it it generate a one serial ID, one SID. Sorry, one SID, and one SID can have multiple serial IDs, serial numbers. It means parallelly one session can execute multiple processes. So that is not possible here.
You mean the processes, the daemon you are telling?
No,
Each
no, no,
one.
not processor daemon. Actually, this the connection ID should be one,
Haha.
and there from this connection spin up 100 process.
Is telling client
100,
connection.
yeah, so that is not possible here. So each one has come as a one thread, and then that execute one query. That's what here it is happening, right?
It
Actually, he is asking like only one session can use multiple thread ID, means multiple processor can use based on the requirement. by the single session ID. Session ID means here is our
Connect
ID,
ID.
connection ID. Yeah.
Connection
So,
ID. One client connection can run multiple queries at the
See, here the basic is it will establish one connection and it will execute the job, and that is also called as a session. But here we
mm,
have different, this is the basic thing I'm telling. Here we have the concept of thread cache. Okay. You can cache the thread and it will be reused by the application. That is
yeah.
something that is different thing. But what I'm telling is the default behavior, how it is working. But here also
Mm.
we have the concept of connection pooling, connection multiplexing, and
Yeah.
thread cache. These all concepts are possible. I mean, we have in MySQL as well. The default
Mm.
behavior I am telling, for each connection, it will establish one connection ID to the MySQL, and within that connection ID, you can execute multiple queries and transactions.
So Sri,
So
to
this
summarize,
connection pooling, thread cache, this all things we will be cover. Okay, we will cover
Okay.
in the later sessions. When we come to this proxy SQL, all these things, we will see how this pooling work. And there is also MariaDB by default. We have the pool of threads and one thread per one connection. That concept is there. We have the direct parameters in the MariaDB. If you want, but that is something not
Mm.
in MySQL by default.
Okay. Okay. Just
Yeah,
to compare, comparing purpose,
yeah,
I
yeah.
asked. Yeah.
We have that is still achievable in the MySQL also. This is something a basic behavior how this connection and this things working. I'm telling.
Yeah.
so
Kind of a degree of parallelism, right?
Hmm.
So
well,
Sri, to summarize, session in MySQL is a thread and session is Postgres is a process. And whenever a user connects to MySQL, connection request comes, it comes to the port 3306 where the daemon is running, and the daemon spins up a new thread to run this transaction. Like how many, like
Inside the MySQL, yes,
MySQL.
Correct.
That's it.
correct. That is correct.
sir, what is the default isolation level?
Default isolation level is repeatable read.
In productions also we will use same, right? No need to change.
That is depends on your application.
That is depends on organization, I believe, because
Yeah,
in
yeah,
I checked, I verified in my organization, I almost more than 10, it's a standard like read committed or something. What is that?
yeah, yeah. Read
Read com
committed.
read committed. Yeah, it's a depends on application or organization level. It's
Yeah, how you want to isolate your data, you
mm,
can have it. Cool. So I think today, see, this is actually happening in my first batch and second batch, but I like this kind of discussions. But what I would say is, let's say we can align some 1 hour or 1 hour that 15 minutes for the
yeah.
um, topic what we have. Right. Then we can spend some 30 minutes or even 1 hour also fine for me
Mm.
to have that discussion around it. So what do you guys think about it? But yeah, the
Yeah,
actual
that's a
discussion what we have today is I really like it. So this will
yeah,
be really helpful
that
for
is
our
correct. But this is this one overall the architecture level, right? So people can have multiple questions.
yeah, yeah,
So
that
if
is
you
correct.
go on a particular topic, actually there won't be much.
Understand that I understand.
Yeah, this is completely architecture level, right? So how it behaves and in different databases, different architecture. So different mindsets we have
Yeah,
across
yeah, that
part.
is correct.
Yeah.
Understand. Cool.
Yeah, better whatever you followed, that process is correct. Even I agree with that. Actually, whatever you go with 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes with the whatever you thought, and
hmm,
then next 30 minutes we can have that also.
discussion. Yeah. Cool.
Sri, can you come just a minute? Can you come on once on that sequence, that session? Like I used to.
Here, right?
Here,
Yeah,
all the IDs are independent with others, right? 21 is different, 22 is different,
Of
not
course.
dependent with right. Yeah, here mice also can understand, I believe. Maybe I might be wrong
yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah.
In Oracle,
That's
there
what.
like a session ID might be 21. it will
Yeah,
same operation insert, update, or delete. That will use multiple process, right? Process
multiple
ID,
process. Yeah, that's true.
CPUs,
That's true.
multiple CPUs,
The
not a different
multiple
serial.
processes.
Yeah,
So that is what I'm about to say here.
yeah.
In
If
Oracle, what will happen? SID
yeah,
is same. There is another column like serial number.
serial
So
number.
serial number is nothing but a one. It's a kind of, it will generate one process. So
Yeah,
one SID, multiple processes.
yeah.
If you
In
kill that
Oracle,
SID, automatically all this process will be killed.
yeah. If Oracle, if session is killed by that 21, all the session will
And
kill
all the processes
serial
will be
number,
killed.
serial
Got it.
SID, comma serial S, right?
Yes, correct.
So here all the session IDs are independent, not dependent with the that parent one kind of that kind of things are not there.
Correct. So even in the in Oracle, if you want to kill a particular process, particular query in the sense independently, you need to kill. You need to give that one session ID, comma that serial
Serial
number.
S. Mhm.
Okay, then if you both give, then particular this one statement will be killed.
Okay. That
So here
means,
that logic is not there. Right? It seems
yeah,
actually
so
the
here we
whatever.
have differently.
Mm,
Here we see that, right? If you want to kill the
mm,
specific query, you need to do kill query, the thread
mm,
ID.
thread ID.
I mean that
Okay.
ID value. But if you want to kill the entire session, you need to kill that ID. That's it.
Got it.
We see that right in the initial layers.
Mm.
But yeah, good to know that how that Oracle works. Maybe I will
Yeah,
also go through
Oracle.
something.
So in the Oracle, there will be a parameter like processes. Here we have the thread to limit that one. Actually, if you put a processes like 500, even
Hmm.
if you connect more than 500 sessions or one session under multiple process, the total summarizes max 500 only you can connect to that database.
Okay. So
So
here
more
we
than
have the
that,
concept of max connection. For example, there is one parameter.
uh, yeah, the same. Here max connections, there
Uh,
max process.
Here just we have max connection. So if these connections are exceed this limit, then MySQL will not allow any further connection.
Max connections in the sense of these thread numbers, right?
This one, yeah. Currently we have 12, right? 12
Uh,
connections,
yeah.
right? When
So
it
max,
reaches this
okay,
limit, MySQL will not further allow any
correct.
connections.
Hello, Sri.
Hey,
You
hi.
you told that thread ID is something that belong to a session, right? Uh,
Yes.
Here you created 10 separate threads.
Yeah.
Uh, then why each thread has a separate session ID?
Each thread have different ID. You mean this
Session ID,
keyword?
yes.
This one, right?
Yes, each thread got a different session ID. Why?
Yes, because in this sysbench, we are telling to create 10 different sessions, right? We are telling to make 10 different threads to connect the MySQL. So that you can see the from the app user, there are 10 threads which were established the connection to the MySQL, and each thread will maintain their own session. You got it, right?
That is
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So each connection will have their own session. And if in the simple way, I just logged in the MySQL client, right? This is one of the session I am using. And my connection should be this one, root user, this 9. This is my connection ID, and I am maintaining this session. Within this session, I can do whatever executing queries are executing, that will be come under my session, and you can modify the parameters, whatever.
See, one thing like here, kind of client we cannot see in process like list, right? Let's say some sessions are coming from Shell, some sessions are coming from Sysbench or like from Java.
Hmm.
That client specific information will be here. That this session is this user is connecting from the Java session. This
Yeah,
user,
that is there, right? Mission is there, right? Mission or that local host. There it is
Yeah.
showing. What is this one? Host. From the host, you can identify from where it is coming.
So it will give you the username and the host where you are connected.
machine name, that is machine name, but kind of client information will not be there, right? Like it is connecting from the CL session. Some
No,
micro
no. But if you have
MySQL
some
CL.
different database for different operation, then you will get the DB name as well here. Let's say if you are maintaining some dedicated database for the sales, then and that particular user will have the access to the sales database. In that case, it will display the database here based on that you can identify. But apart
Mm,
from that, if you are maintaining the same database for all the thing and same user for all your different area, and if you are also trying to connect from the same host for all this area, then MySQL cannot differentiate it.
that if any user are connecting from the workbench, that information will not be here, right?
That is something, no, MySQL will treat everything as a connection, right? And it can display what the connection details. That's it.
It will not tell about the client tool about
Yeah,
what.
yeah. It will not aware of it, right? It will not aware of what you are. I mean, from
Mhm.
your application point of view, it will not aware, right?
Correct.
Yeah. MySQL will treat everything as a connection, and maybe in your case, you can have some dedicated user for your thing. For admins, you have a different user. Application, you have different user. Some auditing or report generation, you can have different user with the proper privileges. So you can at least get know from the username uh, where this connection is from, something like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir,
Right,
can
Shakti sir, is it possible to enable the tracing at session level in MySQL?
Tracing means
What exactly that session is doing in the back end? So in
yeah, of
Oracle, we
course that we can do. We can do
have.
with the general log, but yeah, I thought to cover it today, but unfortunately, we will see that tomorrow. Okay, we have everything here. This general log, all this thing. So it will trace your activity based on the ID, connection ID.
Okay.
Okay. So we will cover this tomorrow.
Okay, sure.
sir, can
Cool.
you please share any blog or link for today's session?
Blog or link. Sure, man. I will find and share it in the group. Yeah.
Like the one quick question if you had time.
Yeah.
So initially when you show transactions, right? When you uh, when you try to access one row, it was blocked from another transaction, right?
Mm. Yes.
Uh, but if we use MVCC under the hood, it won't be blocked, right?
No, actually, repeatable read by default it supports the MVCC. Okay. But here, this is something. The two transaction I used is one is already holding the write lock, which is the exclusive lock, right? Which means I executed one update statement against the ID equal to one, that row. So it is doing some modification. By default, InnoDB do the row level locking, not the table level, nothing. It will just do it just do lock the row, which it is going to modify. That's it. So in this case, if the another session is also trying to modify the same row, then it may create conflict, right? The MVCC, I can understand that will work better for the selects. Maybe I think you can go through the yesterday session. You will get more on that. That we will discuss about this isolation levels, how this working and maintaining this MVCC. So just go through about the yesterday session. You will get more on that. But whenever you are doing the modifying the row should be locked until once the row is released by the commit or rollback or terminating the connection, then only the other session can access that row. You can read it, but you cannot modify from the different session.
Okay, so whatever you showed was it modifying there?
Yeah, yeah. I was running two updates, right? Two update statement.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. You can read it, but modification is not possible. Anything else? Cool. I think nothing major. We can drop off for today and we will connect tomorrow. Okay. And Friday, I have my temple festival here. Anyway, it will start from 9, but maybe Thursday evening, if I have some work, that is our family temple, so I may have some work. I'm not sure. So maybe I will cancel the class on Friday. But in that case, what you guys prefer? I want to know uh, in case if we also have the class on Monday, is that fine? I don't want to do that on weekends for now. So Monday we have the free time, right? So in case if you guys are okay or not, if you are planning the class on Monday
Yes, it
also,
is fine.
in some cases, not every Monday, in some cases.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
it is fine.
Cool then. Yeah. Fine. Usually, why I do not like Monday mornings because this Saturday Sunday we may have some trips or something, right? So this Monday morning I like to wake up on my own time. So yeah, but this is uh, just wanted to check with you guys in case if something. Sure, we will do that. Okay, I will update you on this. Cool then. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.